Good morning, good afternoon from where you are. I know some people are in Tanzania, in Nairobi, so it's very nice to meet you all, and thank you all for joining us today in this session. It is wonderful to see all these people and that are eager to learn more about the School for Think Tankers. My name is Camila Ulloa. I am part of the OTT team. With me is Selenge and Stefania that you're going to meet them in a couple of minutes. And I'm excited to share with you what makes this school a unique experience and an opportunity for those who are passionate about the world of think tanks. Today, our goal is to give you an in-depth look at the School for Think Tankers, answer all your questions that you can have about the school and the program, and hopefully to inspire you to take this next step and in your career with us in the School for Think Tankers. So now that you have an overview for this session, I'm going to introduce to yourself the Estefania Taran, which is our senior associate and director, that will take us through the mission and the inspiration behind the School for Think Tankers.
Good morning to everybody. Thanks, Camila. I'm saying hi from Mexico. But good afternoon and good night for other people there. I'm really happy to see you, and I would like to share why the School for Think Tankers. So it was launched in 2015. So we have 9 editions so far, and we have been evolving and trying to address in a better way your issues, your challenges as think tankers. So we see that think tanks are often led by researchers and policymakers rather than managers. So leaders face actually complex budgets, diverse income streams, varied audiences, a lot of challenges. So we want to address those challenges and also give you the space so that you can share them with others and with peers, because sometimes in the world of think tanks, you can feel really lonely. But here you have a space with peers that you can share and also learn from each other. So for us, it's really essential to keep skills and knowledge updated, because it's always evolving and everything is changing. So our mission is to equip leaders like you with tools to successfully manage and evolve think tanks. And I think that this is not an easy task. Myself, before joining OTT as the director of the On Think Tanks program, I worked with a think tank in Ecuador for 7 years as the democracy director, after that the advocacy director, and finally sharing with you some of the challenges by being the interim director for 1 year. So I think that this is a very, very interesting program. Next slide, please. And it will definitely inspire, prepare, and strengthen in your role as you are coming. It might be as a director of communications, as a director of research, as the CEO, or if you're just thinking about in starting a think tank, it will help you a lot. And also, what another strength of this school, another is to build a community of emerging think tankers to support and learn from each other. As I said, this is really important, and this is something that usually the students of think tanks say when they leave the school. No, this is something that really matters when they come, and it's feel that they are supported by others that think and live similar experiences. And finally, encourage participants to reflect on their own organization and how to support its development. So as you will see, and Camila will show later on, and Selenge, like the program, like these topics are relevant for all of you, regardless where you are or the specific topic that you work on. So this will we will guide you so that along like the program you will have the opportunity to reflect on your own organization and start having like more input and more strategic input so that you can make some important decisions here so far. So I would like you to stay in tune, and now we will review like the program, like the trainers, and we will keep talking. Thank you, Camila.
Thank you, Stefania, and thank you for all the introduction and how this school was inspired at the beginning and how this is evolving every year. So as you know, this is our 9th edition, and this edition is going to happen, will take place in Barcelona. That great city. I love Barcelona. I don't know you, but that's a great place to be. And yeah, this edition we're going to be in Barcelona from the February 3rd to the February 7th. Over these 5 days, they're going to be the 5 complete days of working. We'll immerse ourselves in lectures, in group works. We're going to have site visits to key institutions, including BOFIL and CDOC. We are also cover a range of essential topics, as Stefania said, that include, I'm gonna talk about it later, but include good governance, fundraising, impactful communications, policy influence, those topics that are really important in the world of think tanks. And also we count with trainers that are directors or former directors of leading or from leading think tanks, leading organizations that bring wealth of experience. As you can see, this school, when you are part of this school, you're also joining an alumni community of more than 200 of think tankers. And also, if you complete this school, you're going to have a certificate that is issued upon the completion of the school. What are the topics that we are going to be exploring in these editions? These are the main topics. I'm going to detail the more of the sessions, but these are the main topics that we are going to cover during the 5 days. That are the think tanks across the policy ecosystem, good governance and people management. We're going to talk about finance and also fundraising, finance management, but also fundraising, communications for impact. That's a topic that it's always useful, not only for the communications teams on think tanks, but also for all think tankers that are starting or that working with think tanks. We are going to also talk about policy influence and how partnerships are a key element for impact. And also we are going to talk about the future of think tanks and how we can future-proofing think tanks, talking about those issues that are we have to start thinking. You can go to the next slide. So as I said, trainers of the school in past editions, and in these editions always include directors and former directors of think tanks. And in previous editions, we have had trainers from different institutions, different think tanks, such as Overseas Development Institute, Chatham House, Faro, the Graduate Institute, the Belgrade Center for Security Policy, and the Center for Economic Policy Research. As you know, we try to always have a balance of different organizations and people from all around the world. And for this edition, I'm going to share some of the trainers that are going to be in the school. We're going to count with Enrique Mendizábal, which is the founder of On Think Tanks and the creator of the school. He's going to be here talking about the think tanks and to understand what is a think tank and an introduction about that. Also, we're going to have Goran Buldowski, who is a former director of Open Society Foundation, who is going to talk more about fundraising and the landscape of fundraising in the think tank world. Sonja Stojanovic, she's going to be at the school too. She's a former director of the BCSP. We also have Paul Morillas, director of CIDOB, talking about policy influence and the global impact that think tanks can have. We also have as our trainers team from Soulbox and team from Chatham House that are going to have some sessions that I'm going to tell you a little bit later about that. So we're going to look at the program of this edition. Just for you to know, we are preparing a first virtual meeting for the people who for the people that already applied and also registered and was accepted for the program on the January 15. This is a first meeting to not only know the participants that are going to be in Barcelona, but also to know more about the program, the day by day, also to understand better what are the expectations of the participants and the objectives of the school to match the expectations and the objectives that we have in this edition, and also the logistics to know more about arriving in Barcelona. So this is going to be the first virtual meeting, and then we have these 5 days that as I said, each day we have a main topic. The day is going to be focused on one topic, and then we have several sessions about that topic, some visits, some group activities. So as you see, the first day we're going to exploring the think tanks across the policy ecosystem. So the first day we're going to knowing each other better, and then we are going to go by what is a think tank and what is the policy ecosystem where think tanks are working on. Then we have a session about reimagining think tanks and new think tanks models. And then we're going to explore the Bofield Hub. We're going to have an institutional visit to Bofield. As you know, Bofield, Fundación Bofield, it's one of our partners in this edition. That's where the school is going to happen. So we're going to know more about Bofield and their work. The second day, we have 2 main topics. In the morning, we're going to be exploring good governance and people management. And in the afternoon, we're going to be talking about finance and fundraising. During the morning, we have 2 sessions about good governance and management. The first session, it's about innovative leadership. and strategic planning with both field. And there we're going to be thinking about how to be more strategic in changing context, how a think tank can be prepared for complex and challenging and changing context. So it's going to be a good session about to be a strategic in a think tank. Then we are going to explore more about the culture of a think tank, the organizational culture, and how to build an effective think tank culture with Sonja. And in the afternoon, we're going to be talking about finance and fundraising. And with Goran, we're going to explore how the fundraising landscape it's in the it's happening, and what are the strategies for uncertain times? How can be prepared for these uncertain times in the matter of fundraising? How the donors are seeing think tanks? How as think tankers we can think about how to be prepared for present more interesting concept notes, interesting ideas, and partnerships, things like that. We will have a group activity, and then we will have a networking mixer. That's a good space to know better, to know each other better, and we want to ensure also networking activities during this school. The third day, we're going to be talking about communications. We're going to have an institutional visit in the morning, and then we are going to have all the day for talking about how communications can help us to engage our audiences and to impact with our work. So we have a session of communications in complex contexts with Chatham House. That it's also to be how we can communicate what we do in complex and polarized contexts, and how a think tank could be good or could maintain their reputation in this complex context. In the afternoon, we are going to have a workshop on how to build a think tank website for diverse audiences groups. This is going to be a very interactive session about how a think tank could engage their audiences, can measure that, and also to have a practical session on how this could be proved in the construction of our website. The fourth day, we're going to be talking about policy influence and partnership for change. We're going to have tools and tactics for strategic partnerships. We're also going to have sessions about how to establish policy relevant agendas from our work. And also in the afternoon, we're going to be at CDOP. We have an institutional visit there, and we have a session with Paul Morillas when we are going to be talking about measure impact, how we can measure the impact of think tanks, and of course, how we can measure also the global influence that a think tank can have from the voice of a think tank that has a global influence, as CDOP. And then the last day, we're going to be talking about how to future-proofing think tanks. And we want to include a session about how AI is incorporating in the work of think tanks, in which activities, how AI could be a useful resource for our work. And we will also be talking about think tanks and the future. and what do we have to see when we are talking about the future of our industry. So yeah, that's the last session, and this session will lead to a group reflection activity for the work of the 5 days. We're going to close with that and with a closing ceremony with reflections of the participants on how the school were and all the insights that participants can get from that. So that's the working program. As you see, we have some trainers confirmed. The others are still in confirmation, but those are the main sessions that we are working for this edition. I want to include that these sessions were well thought according not only to the previous participant feedback, but also according to our state of the sector report, where we ask different think tanks all around the world what are their challenges and what are their capacity needs, and all of this is a reflection of all that information of the state of the sector report that on think tanks do every year. Okay. So now I'm going to introduce to Selenge, who is going to talk about our past participants and some key information that you should know for this program.
Okay, thank you, Camila. Hopefully you can hear me. So to talk about past participants that were in the School for Think Tankers, we have had experienced think tankers who were leaders of their organizations. We had policy entrepreneurs that wanted to set up their own think tanks, and also junior staff in their organizations, and also professionals from other industries such as funders that were funding think tanks, and also people from academia. So we have this page with past participants with their backgrounds, with their jobs. So I will be sharing that link in the chat soon. So also we have this video with past participants talking about their experience. So hopefully, let me know if you can't hear the audio, but you should be able to.
So I joined the School for Think Tankers because I've been leading an organization for the last 4.5 years, and I felt I needed a refresher in new insights.
So in the school, we found this nurturing space where we could exchange ideas, visions, materials, both with the mentors of the school, but also with all the participants.
The biggest thing that I learned in the School of Thinktankers is like really pose the right questions if you want to pursue an activist road as a think tank.
Okay, now I will talk about some key dates. So we have 2 different application deadlines. If you need a visa to get to Spain, then please submit your application by November 18th, which is coming up very soon. But if you don't need a visa to get to Spain, then the standard application deadline is January 7th. Now about the school fees. We have 2 groups of countries. So in group A, we have people from countries such as the United States, countries in Europe, Australia. So in countries like that, then we ask participants to pay 1,900 euro. And for Group B countries, which is just other countries besides those ones, then we ask 1,500 euro. So if you want to check which group you belong to, you can see on the school webpage. So what does the fee cover? So it covers the 5-day program. We have a platform just for the school where you can access and go back and see the study materials. We have coffee breaks, lunch, and as Camilla said, we have a networking reception. And as my colleague said before, you will be joining this really rich alumni network for people who participated in the School for Think Tankers. And after the school, you will be getting a certificate of participation. And on the bottom, we have very important information. So this fee covers all of this, but it doesn't cover your plane tickets or your accommodation. So we ask that either you cover those expenses, or maybe your organization can cover those expenses. And now finally, how you can apply for the school. So on the slide here, we have a QR code. If you scan it, it will take you directly to the sign up form. And so these are some of the information you will need. You'll need your CV. We ask for a short 3-minute video where you are talking about why you want to join the School for Think Tankers. And if you think it would help your application, then you can also submit a letter of reference from your organization supporting your application. Okay, thank you. So thank you for your attention. So now we can move on to the Q&A section.
Thank you, Solange. So if you have any questions about the program, about the application process, or anything else, please just you can open your mic and speak, or if you want to make your question in the chat, it's okay.
Okay, I'll go, I think. Hi, my name is Kriti. And I do have a question. So I'm in academia, but I have worked in think tank in India. So I'm trying, so I'll use my video for that. But so I am wondering, what are you looking in CV, which includes like 3 maximum page? Because like, in academia, we can go on and on, right? So that is my first question. My second question is the payment due with the application, or we should wait for our selection per se and then we make that payment? And then I do have the third question, which is about, okay, I'll think about the third question that I've written. Meanwhile, you can answer these two. Thank you.
Thank you, Kriti. So I can answer the question about what we are looking for in your CV, and Selenge is going to talk more about the process of the application and the approval and the registration. So yeah, we include a CV of 3 pages, but it's not, it's the maximum, so it's okay if you have a short CV. The idea of the people that that can join to that program, it's a pretty, I mean, we can accept people from that are experienced leaders, but also emerging leaders. So we have those 2 groups that are usually part of the school. The experienced leaders usually are people from in senior leadership roles in a research organization or in a think tank, but it could be a role in different divisions. For example, communication, research, I don't know, finance. So it could be someone that it's part of a team or a special division, or that someone that is a senior leader. But also we are encouraging to emerging leaders that are people or persons that have mid-level roles at on think tanks that be part of this school. For example, people that have a minimum of 2 years working on a think tank, or 2.5 years, those kind of mid-level career, of mid-level roles in a think tank. So we encourage people to apply from different backgrounds, not always people that already work on a think tank, but also if there are some people who are interested in start a think tank, like entrepreneurs interested in establish their own think tanks, it could be also a good idea to be part of this process, because it's going to be pretty helpful for know how the industry works. Also, people from academia, it's well received, the applications that were received. Policymakers and professionals, probably people that work across the public or government sector, are also profiles that can be part of the school. So selling it, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Kriti. So about the application process, so when you send in your application, you don't need to, so we don't ask that you send in the payment right away. And so when you send in your application, we will be reviewing it very soon. So we do it every week. So you will be hearing back from us very soon. And then once you get if you get accepted, once you have that confirmation, then you can proceed to the next steps. So we can proceed to the payment, and if you require a visa, then you can apply for your visa. We will be supporting with a visa support letter with a signature on think tanks, and also from our partner organization in Spain, which is BOFEL. So I hope that answered your question. And I remembered you had a first question. Do you have the first question?
Yeah, I think it does. Thank you. And I do have another question in the chat box, but I'll let everyone ask their question as well. Thank you.
About the letter of reference. So I think it's a case-by-case basis. If we see that maybe if we receive your application and then we see that maybe we are requiring more information, then maybe we can get back to you. But if that letter of reference, it'll take too much time for you, then we encourage you to just apply without it. But please, Camila, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think that it's a good idea to apply soon, in case, as Selenga said, in case probably we need more information or some support letter that could help for your application process. It would be great. So yeah, it's a good idea to apply soon to the process.
Okay, thank
you. Stephanie.
No, just with this process, the application process, we ensure that you are in the right space, right? That it makes sense to you and also for the other participants. So that's a way of ensuring like that the group works and that the program is suited for you, well suited for you. So that's why it's as Alenka said, it's based on each case. It will depend on each case, but but just apply, and then we will ask for you for an interview if it's necessary, or just because of your CV or your motivation letter, we'll let you know that it's not necessary anything else than that.
Perfect.
I don't know if someone else has a question about the process, the program.
There's a question in the comments.
Oh, let me see. I think it's the question of Kriti, right? The one that we just answered. Okay, so I think there's no more questions, but feel free to go to the website, to the school website, where we have all the information about the process. We also going to update our website with the trainers and with the program, and we are going to be publish the trainers that are going to be part of the program during next days. You're going to receive also more information for being part of this session, more information about probably frequent asked questions that we can have. And if you need something or you have a question after this session, feel free to reach out myself or Selenge or Stephanie. As Selenge told you, this is the QR for the application form. So yeah, I encourage you to apply soon. And if you have a question about your application, feel free to ask. Well, so let me see, thank you, this was helpful, great. Thank you, I'm very excited to know you more, to you possible participants. As I said at the beginning of the session, the School of Thinktankers is more than one learning program. It's also a great experience to empower yourself in your organization, but also in your career. So yeah, we would be honored to support this journey for you. And thank you again for being here today and to know more about the program.